Neighbors described the moment they heard dozens of gunshots. Witnesses tell us the gunfire sounded like an automatic weapon. They
She had a
heard two
switch.
separate.
I was in bed and I heard pow, 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 pow. And I'm like, what in the world?
Rakima Henley. She has active warrants for 3 counts of felony murder and destruction of evidence. Miss Henley, you're cooked.
2 guns was found at the scene. A handgun and a Draco.
A handgun and a Draco was found at the scene. So she had a handgun and a Draco. I don't know what these dudes did to piss her off, but she killed one dude down the street. Not even 30 minutes later, she go down the street the next block over and killed 2 more people. We gotta get this thug off the streets. Alright, y'all, look, we got another reaction video today. They saying this 21-year-old Georgia woman wanted for triple murder after graduating with honors. I ain't gonna lie, this title sounded crazy, so we have to go ahead and react to it. Hey, y'all, smash the like button for me. Let's get at least 50 likes on this video. I'm gonna go ahead and break it down and see what's going on.
And to put people together.
Now imagine this, fam. You're in a small Georgia neighborhood on a quiet night. Crickets chirping, porch lights on, kids inside. Then suddenly, over 50 shots get let off. You quickly find out 3 young men end up losing their lives. And a couple days later, police say the only person tied to it as of yet is a 21-year-old woman who just graduated with honors.
But I be trying to tell y'all, the females is the new YNs. Y'all think I be lying? Like, that's all I'm gonna say.
Y'all gotta watch these females. How she go from classroom excellence to cold case suspect. Not for 1 murder, not for 2, but for 3. Was she set up? Did she know too much? Or did she really have a hand in what went down that night? Well, in this video, we're gonna try our best to find out. According to all public records, we're gonna try to break down everything. The victims, the connection, and how one of Macon's most shocking cases might have just exploded something deeper in Bibb County. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump right to it. Now let's start this video off with some facts. We know victims' families are angry, and they got every right to be. But now it's gotten to the point, because of the information being shared online, that even the suspects themselves might allegedly want this young girl gone, simply because of what she knows. So now you got 2 sides of the community.
So it seemed like either she killed them 3 dudes, or she know who killed them, and she not trying to, you know, snitch. She ain't trying to say nothing. Y'all know how that be, though.
She's alive, and others praying she's caught, all in the name of justice. And at 21 years old, this young woman is in what you call a lose-lose situation. And the crazy part is this: we know if she is apprehended, authorities already believe more arrests is likely to come. But before we dive into the full details of this case, who was involved, and what allegedly happened, and how investigators say this was part of a retaliation shooting, without giving too much detail, let's talk about Macon, Georgia first itself. The crime, the history.
Crazy. Since when do we have females out here getting retaliation, out here shooting and sliding and killing people? Like that's something the dude would do. That's kind of
some quick
crazy
facts
work.
About the city. Now, when you hear the name Macon, Georgia, most people think of a small, slow-paced southern town. But if you really know Macon, you know it's a city split in 2. One side built on history and heart, and the other side is still fighting heavy poverty, violence, and generational trauma. Located in Bibb County, Macon sits right in the middle of Georgia, not far from Atlanta. About an hour and some change away, but the difference in opportunity feels like night and day. Over the past few years, crime in Macon has risen dramatically. In 2024 alone, the county recorded more than 70 homicides, most involving young people under 25. And just like a lot of other smaller southern cities, Macon's biggest problem isn't just the violence itself, it's how fast retaliation spreads. One shooting turns into 2, then 3. Then you having families left with no answers. But at the same time, it's also a city full of pride, music roots, church culture, and tight-knit families who've been there for generations. So when something like this happened, especially involving a young woman who once represented the best of her community, it hits home a little different. That's why this story grabbed the entire county's attention, because it wasn't just another case of senseless violence. It was a reminder that no matter how small the town, darkness can still find its way in. So now that's
the crazy thing about it. It seemed like all the small towns. I mean, it makes sense though. It's a small town. They gonna have a lot of crime, especially when you got thinking they tough, thinking they gangsters. You know, bro, it's a small town. Y'all probably got about 1,000 people in that town, and everybody know everybody. Everybody know where everybody stay. Hell, you go down the street to Walmart, you might see your op. Like, come on, you trying to beef with somebody in your town that's small. You go outside and ride your bike around the block, you might run into your op. Like, come on.
Foundation laid out. Let's talk about what really happened that night. who the victims were, and how investigators believe the entire situation was part of a retaliation gone wrong. Fam, meet Rakimia Henley. She only 21 years old as of today. At first, she went to Westside High School, but she found herself going off track until she tried
Westside High School. That shit sound ghetto. That's the problem right there. Westside High School.
and decided to attend a school that wear uniform, more strict, and less distractions. And because of that, back in April of 2020, her mom went to Facebook and said the following: "I'm so proud of my baby, Rakimia Henley. Through all the pain and lost loved ones, the mishap at Westside, which almost cost her future, but God stepped in. My baby grieved, cried, and endured unimaginable pain, but she still remained humble, focused, and driven to be successful. This little girl gave up her fashion, wearing her own clothes to school, to be at a school that wears uniform and doesn't allow them to have their phone, to be at a school with less distractions and a better leader. I thought she would give up a long time ago because she loves her threads, but instead, she went harder, staying at school from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., staying on her ish, going to twilight tutoring, whatever it takes. Every time I go to her room, she's glued to that laptop on E2020, assuring her education and success. And okay, yes, for a teenager, that's considered a boring life, but I promise it's going to pay off. But today, I just want to say this beautiful, determined-headed, strong, spoiled brat of mine, that I love her, and I'm so proud of her. She deserves every dime I spent on her, and her hard work is not going unnoticed. I see you, babe, and your priorities been in the right place.
Bro, I don't understand. Why would somebody type all this for Facebook? Like, you really think somebody got the time? They finna take the time out of their day to read a whole fucking essay that you just typed about your daughter? Like, yeah, congratulations, good job. You know, she got her head on straight, but still, come on, bro. And then you put all these, you got about 1,000 emojis right here. Like, for what? You just spamming emojis.
Age is awesome, but your hunger for success is absolutely breathtaking. The following year, May of 2021, she graduated, and her local news platform has shouted her out
same class
for
as me, class
graduating
of
with
21.
honors from Northeast High School. It then go on to say she's the daughter of Corinthia Henley and the late Jesse Henley. And then that's when I found out more about the parents' relationship and how the dad had lost his life after doing research on him. And that's when I found out that Rakimia mom had killed her dad back in 2009.
So the mama killed the dad? How is she still free? It must have been like a self-defense or something like that.
The kitchen knife after coming home
With a kitchen
for
knife.
stabbing a man in 1999 and doing 3 years. According to an article by the Macon Post back in 2009, it quoted that a woman who fatally stabbed her husband early Sunday morning had previously served 3 years in prison for stabbing a man in 1999.
Only 3 years?
According to court records.
How'd she do
Bibbs
that?
County Superior Court records show Corinthia Henley, then Corinthia Johnson, pled guilty November 29, 1999 to stabbing a man July 15, 1999. She was sentenced March 27, 2000 to serve 3 years in prison, followed by 7 years on probation, according to court records. She came home in 2003. By 2009, 6 years later, she was 30 years old, and she ended up stabbing 28-year-old Jesse Gerald Henley with a kitchen knife following an argument at around 5:45 a.m. It
I
was
told y'all,
Sunday,
toxic
according to Macon
relationship.
Police. A police report labeled the case as justifiable homicide. Corinthia Henley told officers her husband was beating her and pushed her face into a pan of grease warming on the stove when she reached for the knife. The police sergeant at the time said no charges had been filed in connection with Jesse Henley's death, and the police investigation expected to be ongoing for months, but now was considered closed. Ultimately, the case was transferred to Bibbs
Self-defense.
County District Attorney's Office, and they was the ones to
Self-defense,
determine if charges would be filed or not, and I guess they chose not to. But as you can see, Rakimia had a rough growing up, and if my math is correct, when her mom came home the next year, she had her. And then 2 years later, she killed her dad. And since the age of 2, Rakimia has been living life without her father, only her mom. Now fast forward to 2025, just 4 years after graduating high school with honors, Rakimia is now wanted by Bibbs County for not
The
wanting.
Bibb County Sheriff's Office is asking for assistance locating an individual wanted in connection to a homicide. She has active warrants for 3 counts of felony murder and destruction of evidence. Rakimia Henley, age 21, 5'6", 135 pounds, brown eyes, black hair. She has braces and tattoos along her right arm and thigh. She's cooked. Miss Henley, you're cooked.
Bruh.
It's over with.
Or 2, but 3 homicides, 2 brothers and a young man. 2 guns was found at the scene, a handgun and a Draco. She back on August
A
18th,
handgun
2000.
and a Draco was found at the scene. So she had a handgun and a Draco.
Found at the scene. A handgun and a Draco. She back on August 18th,
Told y'all,
2025.
these females the new
It was a
YNs.
Saturday night, and a shooting
That's
took
a
place
YN
on
package
East
right
William
there.
Street in Macon. It left 3 people dead. See, according to the sheriff's office, the first call to 911 came in at around 10:30 p.m. reporting a man had been shot on William Street. The victim was identified as 27-year-old Quantarius Townsend. He was taken to a local hospital where he was later pronounced deceased. May he rest in peace and love and condolences to his family. Roughly 30 minutes later, deputies responded to another call in the 500 block of William Street and found 2 more victims. Brandon Thomas, 21, Markel Boner Jr., 16, suffering from gunshot wounds. The Bibb County
So
Sheriff's
she was on a killing spree. She was like John Wick that night. I don't know what she was mad at. I don't know what these dudes did to piss her off. But she killed one dude down the street. Not even 30 minutes later, she go down the street the next block over and killed 2 more people. We gotta get this thug off the streets. Lock this up.
later pronounced them dead. May they both rest in peace. And love and condolences to their families as well. As mentioned before, at least 50 shell casings were recovered as investigators processed the scene throughout the night. Bibb County's coroner, Leon Jones, said 2 weapons were recovered at the scene. An AK-47 rifle and a handgun. And for weeks, they had no suspect. And police was urging the authorities to come in with clues. But throughout the barbershops, the hair salons, the schools, people was already talking. And they already knew what was up. But check this news clip out first.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Maggie Fitzgerald. New tonight, neighbors in East Macon described the moment they heard dozens of gunshots ring out Saturday night. Witnesses tell us the gunfire sounded like an automatic weapon. Some say they heard 2 separate rounds of shots about an hour apart. Hunter King shares more after speaking with people who live nearby.
I feel like she definitely didn't do this by herself. Especially they talking about they found a Glock and a Drake on the scene. Unless, you know, maybe it was one of the dude's guns, you know, that she was shooting at. Maybe it was their gun, the ones that she killed or something like that. Top story.
Neighbors here in East Macon off of William Street tell me that they are shocked, not by the shooting itself, but just the severity of it all. Investigators say dozens of shots rang out on Saturday night shooting that claimed the lives of 3 men. And here on Sunday afternoon, those same investigators are trying to figure out what led up to the shooting. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office identifies the victims as 27-year-old Quantarius Townsend, 21-year-old Brandon Thomas, and 16-year-old Markel Bonner Jr. Deputies responded to the 500 block of William Street just before 11 p.m. on Saturday night. Diane Jolly lives down the road, and she heard the gunfire.
I was in bed, and I thought maybe it was some firecrackers or something, because it said pow, 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 pow. And I'm like, what in the world?
She know they want no firecrackers. Talk about some pop, 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 pop. Come on, bro. Quit all that playing around.
And then about an hour or so later, he did the same thing. Pow, 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 pow.
Jolly says the neighborhood was quiet when she moved here nearly 4 years ago. She described a different scene now.
It really is scary. For me to be an older person, and he kind of scary because the bullets ain't got no name, or they can come to anybody's apartment or anyone and shoot, hurt them. You know, it's sad.
Our crews first on the scene Saturday night counted at least 50 shell
probably
casings at the scene.
5 words
Witnesses who spoke to us off camera say gang activity is frequent in the neighborhood. One witness tells us this shooting may be connected to a previous incident. The sheriff's office has not confirmed that link. Deputies found 2 victims dead at the scene. Townsend died at the hospital. We reached out to the sheriff's office for an interview, but they declined. Reporting in East Macon, Hunter King, 13 WMAZ News.
The Sheriff's Office asks anyone with information to call 478-751-7500 or Macon Regional Crime Stoppers at 1-877-68-CRIME.
Now, this Macon, Georgia. So that was the talk of the town for weeks. And weeks would go by, authorities would still have yet to make an arrest. But they started to get some tips. They later found out that the suspects was allegedly a part of a crew called EBK, who had ongoing feud with another group who allegedly took matters into their own hands and shot up their neighborhood and was considered a drive-by. And this is how authorities will have a person of interest 5 weeks later for those 3 murders. It's been alleged and on social media that the crew who was into it with those group of young men, one of them was a boyfriend to Rakima. And the only reason authorities only know her so far because it's been alleged that it was her vehicle that was used. Even someone had went on social media and
they
wrote
used
this
her
in the
car.
comments, indicating that her boyfriend was.
She set it up and her black Honda was there and her boyfriend was the shooter. So I knew it wasn't you know, her doing it by herself. But I don't know, like I said, these females is the new YNs of this generation. So like, I mean, if she did do this by herself, I can kind of believe it. But seemed like she probably just hopped into some beef that her boyfriend was, you know, some stuff her boyfriend had going on and a whole bunch of nothing.
One of the ones who shot it up, and allegedly her car was used. But none of that has been confirmed. But it would make sense on why authorities will only have her as listed as a person of interest thus far. On top of that, people has been going around with this theory that she allegedly set these dudes up, but as of now, that's not the fact. And if that's proven and given out by local authorities or via court records, you know I'm gonna keep you guys updated. But nonetheless, Thursday, October 23rd, 2025, Bibbs County had put up a wanted poster for Rakimia Henley, saying she's 21, 5'6", weigh 135 pounds, brown hair, and black. They also indicated she had braces and tattoos along the right arm and thigh. Now, even though she
on the
won
run
in court
right
of
now?
law, she's innocent until proven guilty. You can only imagine what's going through her head right now. Not only her head, but her mother. You're talking about somebody who graduated with high honors 4 years prior, overcame obstacles in high school, made that transition, grew up without her dad.
I ain't gonna lie, even he just said, you know, she innocent until proven guilty. If she knows she didn't do it, she might as well just go ahead and turn herself in. I ain't gonna lie, she might as well just go ahead and snitch. They already know that it's her involved, so she might as well just, you know, go ahead and cooperate with the police and just snitch on his. I mean, she only what? How old they say she was? About in her 20s. She just graduated. She probably like maybe 22, 23, I don't know, 21. You got the rest of your life to live. I'm sure you and this dude aren't gonna be together forever anyway. So I mean, you might as well just go ahead and tell the police what you know and just, he used my car for the shooting. I ain't know nothing about it. He said he was gonna use my car to go to the store, and I said cool. I let him use it.
Age of 2, because he was killed by the hands of her mother, and now she wanted for 3 bodies. And some say she ain't pulled one trigger. It's a very unfortunate situation.
I can see that. She probably didn't pull the trigger.
Trying to fit in and band with the wrong crowd can make you just as guilty as any crime that's allegedly been done.
No, facts. I ain't gonna lie. Look, y'all. Hey, for all my, you know, this really go for all the young ones. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all one thing I learned, like, growing up. Some of my parents always told me that I really didn't understand until, you know, some crazy stuff had happened. When they say, when your parents tell you to watch who your friends are, stop hanging around the wrong people, you don't fit in with that type of group. Like, listen to them. Your parents ain't just saying that for no reason. You feel me? Like, I had to learn that the hard way. It took me to almost go to jail to realize that. Like, that's when I kind of just started being solo and just kicking it by myself for real. I ain't got time to be getting locked up for something that, you know, just because I'm trying to hang around this certain type of crowd, knowing that's not even the type of life I want to live for real. So, hey, y'all listen to y'all parents, though.
The part about all this is that she only 21. But what's even more damaging is that 3 lives were lost. Now, I know at this point, people wondering who the boyfriend. Did he speak out? Well, I can say this.
Nah, he ain't gonna speak out. He gonna let his girlfriend go down.
Social media, but after the knife, it seemed that he didn't. Who claimed to be her boyfriend. I won't give his name because authorities didn't give it out yet. But I will show you public videos that was presented on Rakima's birthday just 2 years prior, as he wished her a happy birthday to his girlfriend/wife. As of now, he has yet to speak on this situation or speak period on social media since the week before this incident. Now, people was making parlays, I'm quite sure, the over and under. If she was over or her telling, the money would be flooding in. But as more developed, I'll keep you guys updated. Until then, let me know how you feel about this one in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, this dude, he got something to do with it. The boyfriend got something to do with it. I don't think his girlfriend just went out and just killed 3 dudes by herself. And if she was involved in this, she kind of slow too. Not like, she ain't even kind of slow. She is slow as fuck to be exact. But yeah. Hey, look, make sure y'all hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if y'all like this type of content. This is my channel where I do react to like crazy crime stories like this. You know, true crime, police body cams, and all that, police arrest. Yeah, I'm gonna catch up with y'all in the next one.